teachers. Because up to master's course, you had your teachers asking you to do certain things in a certain way. Once you get your degree, it is no longer the case and you are on your own. Now, what really keeps you on your own? It is extremely difficult because guardianship is something that you have to accept you have to accept yourself now. You have to be your own guardian. You have to be your own teacher. You have to be your own supervisor so that you can continue the journey of your life without any debacle, without any problem. So that is basically the first thing that I would like to tell you. Second thing is something you must move on. And it is none other than Albert Einstein who said something very interesting, that life is like a bicycle. In order to be in balance, you must move on. And in order that you can move on, you need certain energy, you need quiet confidence, and I say quiet confidence, and you need quiet determination. If you do not have quiet confidence and quiet determination, it is extremely difficult to really move on. So I would expect that all of you who will get degrees today will have necessary determination and confidence to move on in your life. As you go on, you will explore your life. As you go on, life will unfurl itself. Life will open its own pages and you will enjoy sometimes, you will grieve sometimes, but that is all education out of life that you will have to get. That is the second point that I would like to tell you. The third point that I would like to say is that, master's degree is in between the bachelor's and the research degree. So once you have got your master's degree, it is important that you continue to do your research and attain your PhD. Because when you go from master's to PhD, you create something of your own, you create something new that is not documented in the classical literature. In the sense that if you do research in botany or if you do research in physics, even if you do something or small things new, that becomes a new knowledge that is created. And the objective of higher education is basically to create new knowledge. Off and on, there is comparison between higher education in China and higher education in India, and you will find that a large number of students in China go to PhD level because at the PhD level they create new knowledge. And if there is any difference between China and India today, it is because in China there are a large number of students in the universities who are continuing their research after their masters. In our case, in most cases, after masters people try for job. And the job scenario that we have today is that we are asking for jobs, we are not creating jobs ourselves. If you look at the developed nations, you will find that on completion of the master's courses, most of the students, or rather 30% of the students, are creating jobs for their own fellow students. Unless that happens, we will not be able to create, or rather we will not be able to solve the problem of unemployment in this country. It is indeed difficult. The government cannot give all the jobs. University cannot give all the jobs. Jobs have to be created from amongst ourselves. And we must try for creation of jobs, new jobs. If you go for laboratory jobs, you will find that if you create something totally new process, new product, out of that a new job possibility will emerge. So the idea is that the third point that I would like to tell you is this, that on completion of masters, go for PhD, create something new, and out of that new, something or some job prospect will emerge. That will be important for all of us. Finally, you are going to get degrees. Degree is not only attainment, degree also brings with it some kind of social obligation, and that is very important. Social obligation means how do you behave, how do you go out. When you are going out, you are carrying the brand of Basab Government College affiliated to the West Bengal State University. So you are having two acquaintances, or you are having two brands. One brand is Basab Government College, the other is West Bengal State University. The way you talk, the way you organize yourself, the way you present yourself to the public, all will be assessed. And when that assessment is taking place, the name of the university and the name of the college will come. So I would like to request you that whenever you behave in public, whenever you move in social circle, remember that you are carrying a degree where two names are important. One is Basab Government College, the other is the West Bengal State University. And I would like to say, I would like to request all of you, all the degree holders, that on your behavior, on your presentation, will depend our presentation, the presentation of the university, the presentation of the college. You are our ambassadors. You are basically the persons who are carrying us. We are living through you. We are speaking through you. We are doing our jobs through you. So your role is very important. And I hope that all of you will remember this and will try to carry this message with all of you throughout your life, as long as you continue on this earth, basically. It is a great day for all of you because you are getting your degree certificates. Your parents will be waiting to see the certificates. Your neighbors will be waiting to see the certificates. Some of you must be first generation learners, and for you, the joy will know no bounds because you are getting the degree. Maybe the first MSc or first MA will go to the family, and it is a great joy for all of you. I rejoice in this particular degree granting ceremony, and I am really happy for you that you have done a great job. It is because of your job, it is because of your work, it is because of your attainment that you are being recognized today by this, by the people over here and by the entire house. Finally, my good wishes to all of you. I have not reached a position where I can bless. My good wishes to all of you so that you can continue in your life with all dignity of a human being, with all integrity of a human being. Because ultimately, what is important is dignity and integrity. I hope that all of you, when you go out with your degree certificate, will go out with your head high and with good amount of dignity and integrity. My best wishes to all of you. I am indeed thankful to the college and the organizers for giving me this opportunity to speak to you as the guest in chief, and it is my privilege, my pleasure, and my good fortune that I can say this to all of you. Thank you very much.
Chancellor Basab Chowdhury, for those extremely valuable advice that you gave to our students. I'm sure your advice would be etched in their mind as they carry on. And thank you also, sir, for clarifying the nomenclature for this program as a degree conferring ceremony instead of a convocation. I would now request our honorable guest, Vice Chancellor, Burdwan University, Professor Nimai Chandra Saha, for addressing the audience. Thank you, sir.
Good morning to everybody. Respected Professor Dr. Basab Chowdhury, the guest in chief and Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of West Bengal State University. Respected Professor Dr. Joyashree Roy Chowdhury, Director of Public Instruction, Government of West Bengal. Respected Dr. Subhashish Dotto, Principal, Basab Government College. Respected Senior Professor Dr. Jukto Adhikari, Department of Botany, Basab Government College. Respected Professor Pradip Mukherjee, Professor and Head, Department of Physics. Respected Dr. Anandi Kundu, respected Dr. Pravid Das, distinguished guests, respected teachers, recipients of medals and degrees, my dear students, and staff of the college, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first thank the college authority, especially Dr. Subhashish Dotto, the principal of the college, for inviting me to address in the convocation meeting of Basab Government College, a NAC accredited grade A college. At this point, I will have to ask you to bear with me for a minute or two. And I apologize for being personal in this part of my address. Although we have assembled here in the convocation meeting, I feel the waves of nostalgic emotion surging up in me so deeply that part of my mind is occupied by memorable days of my life in this college. I have been invited in too many places of our country in order to present the address in many meetings, seminars, and conferences. But coming to Basab Government College has an altogether different significance for me. They say, and perhaps rightly, that the place where you work once in your life is your home. Basab is the place, and Basab Government College is the institution where I worked as the professor and head of the Department of Zoology. So coming to this college at Basab, whatever the purpose, is a homecoming for me. I spent valuable 3 years of my youth in this college. When I had to leave this college to comply with the government order of transfer, I cast a lingering look behind. I also realized then that while leaving this college, I was leaving behind me a vital part of my life, which I might never get back. But see the mystery of life. I am here again back, though for a different purpose and for a very short time. But this nostalgic visit, for which I am thankful to the authority of the Convocation Organizing Committee, will water my memory and will go a long way to prevent it from drying up. This nostalgia for the memories of small and big things and events will definitely act as a perspective for the wonderful phase of my life which I had left here. Now we shall see where does this college stand in the national scenario of the higher education. This college was established in 1950. Now it has become a premier academic institution in West Bengal under the leadership of Dr. Subhashish Dotto, principal of the college. Owing to its heritage and very good academic track records with very good position in the communication network, the college attracts students from a wide area and from a varied socio-economic background. A good number of students come from the rural or semi-urban areas. I am very happy to learn that the college runs full-fledged undergraduate programs covering pure science, life science, humanities disciplines, along with PG programs in botany, zoology, physics, and Bengali. I am delighted from my experience that the college gives topmost priority to admitting students of outstanding academic caliber. The students of the college have long-term career prospects and find success in academia, administration, industry, and other sectors across the globe. A good number of individual projects with support from different funding agencies of the central and state governments are running in the college. This reflects the quality of research done by the faculty members and the research scholars of the college. The college, affiliated to West Bengal State University, plays the pivot role in the development of higher education in the state and the country. Since today, We have with us a galaxy of intellectuals. I do not want to miss the opportunity of sharing some of my thoughts on higher education with some of the best minds of the country. The college and university should have a place of teaching for universal knowledge. We can even have debates on whether the role of a university or a college is simply to teach knowledge or to advance it. But no one can deny the essential connection of a university or a college with knowledge, a word that has got new meanings and connotations in our time. Our Knowledge Commission, for instance, has made it clear that if India has to reclaim its place of pride on the global map, it must form a knowledge society. Knowledge has now become the most important resource. Knowledge is power. Knowledge Commission made it clear that education has to be used for producing knowledge. In fact, 5 important factors were identified by Knowledge Commission, without which a knowledge society could never be formed. These are access to knowledge, knowledge concepts, creation of knowledge, knowledge application, and delivery of services. It is needless to say that these 5 are integrally related to one another. Lack of nutrition for one will result into malnutrition of the other. When you look at the recommendations of Knowledge Commission critically, we are bound to admit that access to higher education is not satisfactory across the country. We therefore need to expand, but under no circumstances can excellence be compromised. Keeping these things in view, in recent years, a large number of colleges and universities have been set up across our state, almost in every district, matching local needs and specifications. In doing so, access to education for the downtrodden people has been specially taken care of. To promote research, Swami Vivekananda Merit Cum Mint Scholarship has been introduced in our state. This scheme will give support to non-net research scholars. K3, the expansion of the DREAM project of our Honorable Chief Minister Kunnasri has also been launched for the girl students of universities. We are indeed grateful to our Chief Minister and Education Minister for launching all these new schemes which will definitely contribute to the development of higher education in West Bengal and our country. The country's economic progress is dependent on several critical factors. The quality of our human resources is almost the most important of them. Higher education is the key to make available a large pool of skilled manpower for our nation. Higher education not only decides a student's career prospects, but also sets his or her personality. Our country's education system is burdened with demands of both quantity and quality. The numbers of students who seek admissions in colleges or universities today far exceed the capacity of government educational institutions. We need many more universities and colleges to be able to address the demand of higher education. And along with quantity, we also need to focus on quality. We, however, are not in a position to be complacent. When I say this, I do not have only this college in mind. In fact, academics engaged in the pursuit of higher education in India should not be complacent. We know that we have miles to go. I know that critics might argue that we lag behind the international standards, that the scenario for higher education in India is far from the ideal. In fact, whenever a new world university ranking is published in the West, we find ourselves in the midst of a hue and cry. Not even a single Indian university is listed in the top 200 universities of the world. What do the figures say? According to the recent Ministry of Human Resource Development report, now there are more than 799 universities, 39,071 colleges, and 11,923 standalone institutions in our country. If we compare this number with 18, which was the number of the universities in India in 1950, we must admit that we have come a long way. But this is not enough. Some 10 years back, UGC admitted that by 2015, India would need 1,500 more universities with adequate infrastructural facilities to be at par with the global standard. there is little doubt that despite our best efforts, this goal has eluded us. Whereas I admit that the present situation of higher education is far from the ideal, I request the critics of higher education to think about the constraints within which we work. I also want to ask, who decides the global standard of higher education and how is it determined? Those world rankings are made on certain parameters such as faculty-student ratio, college or university's global reputation, its total resources, number of international students, its links to business and research excellence. These are very important parameters indeed. But what about the local specificities, negotiating which a college or university works, especially in a country like ours? In facing this question, I would like to listen to what Tagore said on this issue long back in an essay written in 1313 titled Shikhar Samasya. Tagore made it absolutely clear that we should not blindly follow the models of foreign universities. He insisted on the fusion of the East and the West, the indigenous and the foreign. He made it clear that the educational institutes of our country should be rooted in the Indian soil on the one hand, and on the other, they should look up at the world at large. It would not be indeed an exaggeration to say here that our Honorable Chief Minister's notion of Vishwa Bangla echoes Tagore's words. In view of the things mentioned earlier, I would like to place a future plan of action before you for achieving newer heights. For maintaining excellence, we have to recruit quality teachers and encourage them by providing research grants. Emphasis should be given on the introduction of more interdisciplinary courses and research. In this context,